Namaskar. A hearty welcome to the first session of online literature conference on environment and literature, being participated by all the SAARC countries. And this program is being conducted by Sahitya Academy in collaboration with the Foundation of SAARC Writers and Literature, that is FOSWAL. And in this, we have representatives of Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Myanmar, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and Thailand. All these representatives are participating in this program. And this is the first session of the 3-day conference. And this session is devoted for poetry session, and in this session each poet is allotted with 7 minutes duration to present their poetry. And this session is going to be chaired by Bhishma Upreti from Nepal. I hope he didn't I meant to receive him, I think. Okay, anyhow, before he take charge of the program, let me continue myself. And in this, we have representatives of all the SAARC countries. Amarendra Kautha from India, Sanjuti Barwa from Bangladesh, Nishanta Fernando from Sri Lanka, Namgai Paldon from Bhutan, Mihir Chitre from India, Bina Thing from Nepal, AJ Thomas Ji from India, Dio Prakash Chowdhury from India, Lakshman Prasad Gautam from Nepal, and Bhishma Upreti from Nepal are going to present and share their poetry fragrance with us. Let me start with, I think Amrendra Ji is with us. May I request you, sir, kindly present your poetry on this first session of the program. Sir, kindly.
Yeah, thank you. Namaskar. The subject, the theme of the conference is environment and literature.
Yeah.
I'll read a poem which I had read in the Rio Climate Change Conference in English. The name of it's a small poem. The name of the poem is Climate Change Poem. Remember the empty riverbed embracing the albino pebbles of season. Then the trickle waved from the mountains and a whole landscape now covered by a lake of eerie moonlight reflecting imposed metamorphosis. Always, the religion of flowing water must stop somewhere in the identity of an ocean, maybe an estuary, and will always inundate everything in silence. Remember the days when an oasis used to point fingers at vanishing shadows, where now gargles an unknown sea of oxygen. Thank you. Thank you.
आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है.
You can't hear me?
Yeah, I hear.
Yeah, it's okay now?
Okay now.
Okay. The poem which was read at the Rio Climate Change Summit, the name is Climate Change Poem. Can you hear me now? Yes.
Okay, it's okay.
It's a small poem. Poem is, remember the empty riverbed, embracing the albino pebbles of season. Then the trickle waved from the mountains and a whole landscape now covered by a lake of eerie moonlight reflecting imposed metamorphosis. Always the religion of flowing water must stop somewhere in the identity of an ocean, maybe in an estuary, and will always inundate everything in silence. Remember the days when an oasis used to point fingers at vanishing shadows, where now gargles an unknown sea of oxygen. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, Amarendra Kautaji, and we have in our midst our chairperson of chairperson of today's first session, Bhishma Upretiji. I think welcome, sir, and kindly take over the charge of the first session. In fact, I'm eagerly waiting for you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, kindly.
So may I?
And Sri Amarendra Kautia, he has already presented his poetry. You may start with the second one.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, from Sahitya Academy. And just before to start the another reading, I would like to say maybe two sentences, just like this is the first session of this literature conference, and also this is the first time that Sahitya Academy and FOSWAL jointly organizing something like a BIMSTEC literature conference. So we are lucky, we all are participating in this session, are lucky to be the delegates of first session of this ever first organized conference. So thank you so much, and it's for the time schedule, so each poet has 6 minutes. So I will request to all the poets to manage within 6 minutes. So now Amarendra Katwa sir has already recited his poem. Now I would like to request Miss Sanjuti Barua from Bangladesh. Before to read your poem, you will introduce yourself in few sentences, and then you will read your poem, Sanjuti ji.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone is fine as the pandemic is not over yet. Thanks to Bhishma Upreti, chairperson of this session, for giving me the floor. I would like to thank respected Ajit Kaurji for inviting me to this prestigious literature conference. And a special thanks to poet Kamrul Hassan, Aditya Kayas, and Ritu Parvi for helping me to translate my poetries into English. I am Shejuti Borua from Bangladesh. I always like to introduce myself as a poet, though I write fiction and short stories for kids as well as poetry. I have started my journey officially as a poet in the year 1999 when my first poetry was published in the National Daily, Prothom Alo. My poetry short stories are published on regular basis in national dailies and children's magazine. I have published 3 books of poetry. My first book, Read, was published in 2018 and awarded literary awards, Siti Anando Alo Sahitya Puruskar 2018. The second book, Shankhuchu Ghran, was published in 2019. And the third book, Rodrodagdha Lyric, in 2021. I also achieved literary awards, Purbo Poschim Sahitya Puruskar 2021. I also work as a freelance writer and creative consultant for United Nations and international NGOs on women and child health, education, human rights, and migrant workers issues. I live in Dhaka. I hope you will enjoy my poetry. Revenge, translated by Kamrul Hassan. I wanted to cut the trees off and make the earth go bald, but she reacted by giving birth to more trees with more leaves. I opted to set those leaves on fire. The smoke caused the earth to run away to the farthest forest. She was coughing to her life. Am I a human? My poor greedy soul made me unweave so many threads, but slowly the earth returns to her place, singing songs of extinction. Now I have to bear the brunt and burn in the deadly heat. I curse the earth with all I have got. I wanted to uproot the trees, but I end up being crushed by the hills. The earth roars to engulf my essence. I hope I won't be crucified at this dying nomadic hour. So I tie all the panacea on my back, but the earth still puts the final nails of silence on my door. My second poem is Metamorphosis, translated by Kamrul Hassan. I wait as my fishing net reaches the bottom of the river, but no fish did I catch. Rather, it was a very tasty mother, straight from the deepness of the water. She cut her bosom open and offers me the babies. Have us now, feast on our flesh, munch on the tender babies. I cook and then take a shower. But when I stand in front of the mirror, I see countless elephant trunks growing on my face. I flee to the forest, maybe to rest in the lap of the Mother Nature. Thank you.
Sir, with the permission of the chair, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Professor Ajit Kaur ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for joining the first session. Sir, kindly take over.
I would like to say my very deepest gratitude to Ajit Kaur ma'am for all these efforts and letting us some spaces in every sessions, in every episode of the festivals. So is there Mr. Nisantha Fernando?
I think he's yet to join, sir.
He's yet to come, I think.
Yet to join. I think
so I would like to.
We have Namgam Peldan from Bhutan. I think she's ready.
Yeah, so I would like to request my a very good fellow poet and like sister from Bhutan, Namge Peldon. So we are waiting for you, Namge.
Kindly unmute, ma'am. Unmute the audio. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, it's audible.
Everyone. I hope you all are keeping fine.
Yeah.
My name is Namge Pelden. I'm from Bhutan and I live in capital city of Bhutan, Thimphu. I work with Bhutan National Bank Limited as a relationship manager, and I started my career as a banking officer. I did my MBA in international business from the Netherlands, and I graduated from Sharapsu College, Konglung in Bhutan. I enjoy writing poems, short stories, and photography, besides my normal banking works. I have authored one poetry book in 2019 called Reflections on a Perfect Mother. I am also an active participant in the South Asian Literature Festival, Asian Literary Society, and also World Poetry Conference. I treat writing as a base therapy, as I can set free myself and accept the reality, and the world shall recognize you. Failure should be found out. Failure should not be easily given up, because giving up is not fine. If we fail once, doesn't mean we are failed totally, but we can get up, and that's how we become strong. I stopped worrying even when I lost my parents. Instead, gave me an opportunity to become strong. And now let me read my poem. First poem, Beautiful Environment. We don't care about nature, just the pursuit of wealth. We see for the progress. We see rapid urban development. Huge industrial estates and shopping malls, roads and huge buildings, hydropower and other developments. Habitats are destined to destroy. Homes of wild animals are destroyed. Some wild animals are killed for consumption. Some are killed for medicinal values. We are insensitive human. Look at the undisturbed beauty, the calm tranquility of the nature. The environment is pure and clean, where animals and birds can breed. Let's not be selfish murderers. Let's not spoil the soil we stay in. Let's not disgrace the environment. Let's save the environment and the earth. My second poem, Environmental Challenges. Broken and pieces of bottles floating. Used plastics drained in the water. Weighted papers tossed in the grasses. Buildings of the concrete and cutting of trees. Ocean filled with thick crude oil. All sea life is destined to slow down. Even forests are cut down. All animals are destined to disappear. We pollute fresh air and so spoil soil. Glaciers are melting. Wild species are disappearing. But we hardly see danger. For nature living its humanity. Across my summer thought. Everyone is going because of a great. We are killing with our activities. We are robbing the beauty of the earth. The environment weeps at our destruction. The life dance in Greek thickets are no more, where the vision of heaven is torn out. Shall I go for third poem, sir?
I need to ask to this from Sahitya Academy, because there are some participants not seen in the.
I think, sir. I think chair can permit.
Decide.
We have time. We have time with us.
So Namge, you can go for a third but short poem.
Okay, thank you, sir. I walk through environment. My sober mind walks alone in the deep forest. When the wind plays the harp and the birds take the tune, the tree dances and brook sways the sound. I'm in love with the beautiful environment. The green environment is pretty. So beautiful, and the creations are so good. It gives me the feeling of being real, forgetting about the world around us. It gave me really freshness feeling under the shadows of trees, listening to the sound of the chirping birds, moving along the bushes of high plants. I crossed the little tree by the old road fence, the little brook running beneath the bridge. Bubbled and sang all the day. The birds fluttered from the nest. They flew across the yard. The trees are swinging on gently. The river flows with amazing sound, and the sunset has its own grace. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Namge Beni.
Thank you.
Hearing your poem, you read such a beautiful way. Thank you so much. We will see next time, I think in next festival as well of this BIMSTEC festival. So I would like to request Binathing ji from Nepal. I think she's here, and I'm always
No, no,
happy to.
we have with us, sir, we have with us Mihir Chitre from India before that.
Okay, so we can go to Mir Chitre then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, hi. Am I audible?
Yeah.
No problem. You can speak on.
First of all, thank you, Dr. Anand Kumar ji and Dr. Ajit Kaur ji for inviting me and considering me worthwhile to be here. And of course, the SARC and the Sahitya Academy Committee. So thank you so much for having me here. I'm Mihir. I have written 2 books of poetry, Hyphenated and School of Age. The first one, in fact, was published by Sahitya Academy. So I have a long association with them. What I'm going to read today are 2 poems that are based on 2 different places that I have visited. And there is a sense of environment that may or may not come into play. So the first one is called Varanasi. Varanasi, December 2014. You unwelcome me with fog on a blinding night, hurrying into history like the feet of your ghats. As I crawl up the rickety slope of your refrigerated afternoon, I'm spiral and backward in time's forsaken bedroom, where chaste Hindi adulterates several slips of tongue, and the languid orality of people mulls over suicidal lungs. You rise at sundown by Ganga. You bathe, you shiver, urinate, maneuver by Ganga. Your murky bylanes meet at Ganga. The redness of your pans, the green of your Nimbu chai, the butts of your secret cigarettes. Your whole existence is a pull-up with the dumbbell of a dense dream. In moments you loop me. In moments I loop you back. Your high and by are twins, born out of fog, and your river lamps afloat man's finest intricacies. You and I will both live on, Varanasi. The less we know, the better it is. That was the first one. And the second one is called Tosh. Tosh is a remote village in Himachal Pradesh in the Parvati Valley. Tosh, you are what remains when everything is subtracted from everything. As you build a day by the snowy scoop of the Himalayas, I shed weight of past and personality on the treadmill of your narcotic time. If silence had a face among its infinite alleys, you would be its eyes, seeing the unknotting of life's invisible thread from Parvati Valley's rump. You are a ravishing spread of absence, as if a product demo of death, and your rooms filled with charas, gliding along comfortably numb. Disregard the world, like a generation disregarding another. The chicken pizza, sprinkled with early moonlight, is the season's overachiever. The horizon waddles into an eternal trance. Is this a new forever? Thank you.
Thank you, Mir sir. This
Thank
is
you
the
so
first time I hear your poem. I listened to your poem, and you took us to different distinguished places. One is a very crowded city, and the second one is very close to nature. So, and your poet just that drew some pictures on my mind. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And now I would like to request Miss Bina Thing Tamang. I'm always happy to listen Bina Thing's poems. So, Bina ji, now please you read your poems with your introduction.
Hello, Namaste, all of you. First of all, thank you, Ajit Kaurji and Vishnu Upreti Dai, and also Sahitya Academy for this opportunity. I'm Bina Thing. Today I'm going to recite only one poem. I compose poem in Nepali. It will be an injustice to to you who cannot understand Nepali, but I'm sorry, today I'm reciting in Nepali. This is not because I'm a Nepali citizen, but I feel more comfortable to recite in the source language Nepali. The title of the poem I'm reciting is Dhua Ra Ama. It literally translates as hearth, smoke and mother. It's about unacknowledged but beautiful life struggles of mothers, of an ordinary rural mother. सुनमाया, तिमीलाई थाहा छ हाम्रो घरको चुलो मुस्किलले सल्कन्छ। जब सल्कन्छ म देख्छु धुवामा मेरी आमा सकिरा चाहिँ ब्रेक डान्स गर्दै छिन्। कहिले पातली गाईको थुनमा, कहिले घर मास्तिरको पाखो बारीमा, त कहिले घरको दैलोमा। मेरी आमाको हात कलात्मक रूपले सुरुक गरिरहेछ। मलाई लाग्छ मेरी आमा कुनै रियालिटी शोमा भाग जनाउँदै छिन्, तर विडम्बना निर्णायकहरू आँखा बन्द गरेर कान थुनेर बेसोमत हल्ला गरिरहेछन्, र त उनी हरेक पटक आउट हुन्छन् जिन्दगीको रियालिटी शोबाट। फेरि पनि मेरी आमा मुस्किलले सल्किएको चुलोबाट निस्किएको धुवामा अझै पनि डान्स गर्दैछिन्। थ्याङ्क यू।
Minaji, do you have your English translation as well?
If you want, I have translated.
Yeah, but you read your English translation of this poem as well, if you have, because you have time.
Okay, thank you, Sundai. The title is Smoke and Ama. It's translated by Muna Gurung. Sunmaya, do you know something? It is hard to light the stove in our house. But when the flames come on, I see smoke and Ama who like Sakira breakdance. Sometimes over the tin couch full order, sometimes in the fleets above our house, sometimes at our own door. Ama moves her hands like an artist. I feel like my mother is taking part in some reality show. But the jaws are rude. They are shutting their eyes, closing their ears, and making loud noises. That is why she is kicked out each time. From this reality show of life. But even then, Ama still dance in the smoke that rise from a stove, so hard to light. Thank you.
Thank you, Binaji, for very good poems. Poems of mother struggling, living in village and struggling, always struggling hard and not getting success to come up, not due to her own reason, but there are so many others socioeconomic factors. Thank you, and a special thanks to you for reading your poem in Nepali as well. Thank you. Is AJ Thomas?
No, he's not presented. I think we can go for Dev Prakash Chaudhary ji. Yeah.
So I'd like to request Dev Prakash sir to present your poems and yourself.
Thanks for this opportunity, and especially great salute to Ajit Kaur ma'am, जिनकी जिन और लगन मुझे हमेशा प्रभावित करती है। आप लोग सुन पा रहे हैं?
जी।
I am Dev Prakash Chaudhary, an Indian journalist, a script writer, poet, and artist. Have published a number of books in Hindi, written for films, and taken part in many national and state level painting exhibitions. I live in Delhi NCR. Thank you. My first poem is We Are Just Like Others. हम भी दूसरों की तरह है. We are just like others. We hope to change the weather or seasons. We hope to change the weather or seasons just like everyone does. We pray for changing the world just like everyone does. We wait for good news as everyone waits. We get shocked at the bad news as everyone wonders how all this happened. We sit and watch war and battle news on TV as other people watch. We go to cinema. We go to market. We also buy plants for home as others bring. We also keep grains and waters for the birds, but never feel what is the difference between the birds of the city and the forest. How much of the sky is entitled to birds of cities? On dew and sun, how many rights flowers have a city? Have you ever seen flowers in the city? Shivering, trembling, and blossoming, and their scent dissipating in the wind. Whether the wind blows in the cities is the only responsibility that she walks around the apartment drying clothes. In our hopes and our prayers, how much greenery and how much wind there is. Where is the scent of flowers and drops of dew? These questions never seem necessary to us because we are also like others. I want to read it in Hindi.
Yes,
If
sir,
you-
because we have time. Yeah.
Kindly, sir. Kindly, sir.
Okay. हम भी दूसरों की तरह ही हैं. Basically, I am a Hindi poet, so it is comfortable for me to read in Hindi.
सही बात.
हम भी दूसरों की तरह ही हैं. हम मौसम के बदल जाने की उम्मीद करते हैं, ठीक वैसे ही जैसे सब करते हैं. हम दुनिया के बदल जाने की प्रार्थना करते हैं, ठीक वैसे ही जैसे सब करते हैं. हमें अच्छी खबरों का इंतजार रहता है, जैसे सबको रहता है. हम बुरी खबरों पर चौंकते हैं, जैसे सब चौंकते हैं कि यह सब कैसे हुआ. हम टीवी पर बैठकर युद्ध की खबरें देखते हैं, जैसे दूसरे लोग देखते हैं. हम सिनेमा जाते हैं, बाजार जाते हैं. हम घर के लिए पौधे खरीद के लाते हैं, जैसे दूसरे लाते हैं. परिंदों के लिए दाना पानी भी रखते हैं, लेकिन कभी महसूस नहीं कर पाते कि क्या फर्क है शहर और जंगल के परिंदों में. आसमान पर कितना हक होता है शहर में पक्षियों का. ओस और धूप पर कितना हक होता है शहर में फूलों का. आपने कभी देखा है शहर में फूलों का सिहरना, कांपना और उभरना, उसके गंधों का हवाओं में बिखर जाना? क्या शहरों में हवाओं की सिर्फ यही जिम्मेदारी है कि वो अपार्टमेंट में कपड़े सुखाती फिरे? हमारी उम्मीद और हमारी प्रार्थनाओं में कितनी हरियाली है और कितनी हवा? कहाँ है फूलों का गंध और ओस की बूंदें? ये सवाल कभी हमें जरूरी नहीं लगते, क्योंकि हम भी दूसरों की तरह ही हैं.
Thank you, sir.
If I have time,
You can read one poem, sir.
this is very short poem. दीवारों की तरह उतर जाते हैं, दीवारों की तरह उतर जाते हैं सपनों के रंग भी, दीवारों की तरह उतर जाते हैं सपनों के रंग भी, हम उनको रंगते रहेंगे उनके छलक जाने तक। Like walls get of the colors of dreams, we will paint them until they spill. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for both the beautiful poems and Hindi version
Thanks.
as well. So, thank you so much. And I think as per this schedule, there should be some Lakshman Prasad Gautam as
No,
well.
he didn't join. I think you can. I may request the chair to kindly present the poetry.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. So I will also read my two poems translated into English.
Please.
And I will read one of them in Nepali as well, not two, but one. So the first poem, its title is Desires. Originally was written in Nepali, and Professor Avishwedi translated it into English. Desires. Colors all that come with red, rosy, white, purple, and yellow have gone to these flowers. Colors all that come with red, rosy, white, purple, and yellow have gone to these flowers. Should some flow of meanings carrying spectacles of life be spilled once over the people who are entering darkness, black like coal, carrying with them the sadness with faded colors, in great haste, discoursing in fret and hunger. I have a desire to see the transformed face of the world. Thank you. The second one is, the title of the second one poem today is Village. Village. If there are dewdrops shimmering everywhere in the front yard, in the backyard garden, in the field, or on the flower plants, think all is not well with certain things. And the women folk in the village have shed tears all the nights. However, if there are colorful flowers blooming everywhere in the front yard, in the edge of the farmyard, or the waysides, or even in the flower vases, think nothing has gone wrong anywhere. And the women folk in the village have smiled with their hearts. So now I want to read the Nepalese version of this poem. Gauma, Gauma, आँगनमा, करेसाबारीमा, खेतमा फुलका बोटहरूमा शीत खसेको छ भने सम्झनु, कतिपय कुराहरू ठिकठाक भइरहेका छैनन्, महिलाहरू रातभरि रोएका छन् गाउँमा। आँगनमा, बारीका डिलमा, बाटोका छेउछाउमा, गमलाहरूमा समेत रङ्गी चङ्गी फुलहरू फुलेका छन् भने सम्झनु, त्यस्तो नराम्रो केही भएको छैन, महिलाहरू दिलैदेखि मुस्कुराएका छन् गाउँमा। Thank you. So, sir.
No, I also request the chair to, if possible, if since we have time, if you are interested to present one more, you can present.
Let me ask anyone, any of the participants wants to present to one.
Hello,
First.
Babuji.
Yeah, ma'am.
Hello,
Hey,
Babuji.
namaskar.
Ajit, ma'am.
Sara Gandhi's video has to be presented. It was left from the first session. Sara
Okay.
Gandhi Bhattacharya. Sara Gandhi Bhattacharya, Mahatma Gandhi's daughter.
Uh-huh.
Video was left out in the morning.
Okay.
Because of lack of time. And
Okay.
It was announced that it will be played in the next session, which is this session.
Okay, please. Kindly play it.
Okay, that would be good.
That would be nice.
Yeah,
nice.
that would be nice.
Video is with you. You have to play it.
Acha. I think
It's with you.
let me find out before I request. Meanwhile, I shall request Sanjuti Barwaji. If you are interested to present one more poem, kindly present. Meanwhile, I'll get that video.
Amrinder Khatua. Ask Amrinder Khatua to read.
Yes, exact. Amrendra ji.
नमस्कार.
Namaskar.
सुनाई दे रहा है?
Yeah, बिल्कुल.
I must introduce myself because सुनाई नहीं दे रहा था.
अच्छा.
I write and publish in Oriya, English, Hindi, and Spanish.
Okay.
Almost 40 collections of poetry. The last poem I read, that was about the Rio International Climate Change Conference, the poem. What I'll do is that now that everybody is there, let me read that very small poem. That will be much better. The poem basically talks about how we are losing water, how we are losing our streams. It just goes like this. Remember the empty riverbed, embracing the albino pebbles of season. Then the trickle waved from the mountains, and a whole landscape now covered by a lake of eerie moonlight reflecting imposed metamorphosis. Always the religion of flowing water must stop somewhere in the identity of an ocean, maybe in an estuary, and will always inundate everything in silence. Remember the days when an oasis used to point fingers at vanishing shadows, where now gargles an unknown sea of season. Thank you.
Another, one more.
Okay. This is a very small poem. Everybody is asking for water. Everybody is asking for shade. See the map. This map is without any trees, without any river. Now the time has come, we have to march. Are you joining me together? We all will march, seeking water and planting it. Thank you.
Tara Gandhi's video. Tara Gandhi.
Yeah, I'm getting that to be played in 5 minutes time. I think meanwhile we may ask any other one to present if they have.
Oh, you asked Sanjuti.
Sanjuti Barwaji.
Okay, I read one more poem. My poem name is I Don't Have a Knife. I split the apple in two with just my fingernails. Let togetherness see how death-like loneliness feels. The wildness of the green fruit that is slow, so cliche, falls apart at the mercilessness of my nails. My lips shrink in anticipation, but I do give them the strength to chew. Slowly, or like a storm, inside my feverish mouth, they mingle hunger and the aroma of the apple. Thank you.
Thank you so much, poet Sanjuti ji. So now is the video ready?
Tara Gandhi's video.
Yeah, ma'am, there is some issue with the projector to present that, to play that video. So that's why for the timing, we may not be able to do it.
When will you do it?
Later.
Later we may do it, no problem. And anyone who is interested to present, Mihir, are you interested?
Sure, I can.
Please. After that, I would request Dev Prakash Chaudhary ji to present one more.
This one's called McLeodganj Miniature. McLeodganj, as everybody knows, it's a village in of the Himalayas. McLeodganj Miniature. That night, the winter was behind us. The streets' iridescence diffused, pine-long ladders of silence. Life was the interim between two plateful of momos. Saint John of the wilderness, freezing in a Himalayan stillness. The Tibetan temple stop motioning the Hindi of our sahirs and fairs. For all my life, I have messed with language. In sentences and slang and serenades, I have abused what's not to be said. Tonight, in this midtown, midnightly, McLeodganj's madness, we are just three backpackers and our atlas, sunrays, squatting on the high window. Or we are 3 pints of Corona Extra, patrolling the moment. And yet, this cosmos quaking in a corridor of local dreams gleams in the absence of meaning. Thank you.
Thank you, Mehji. Now may I request Dev Prakash Chaudhary ji?
Thanks. This is a short poem.
Yeah, please.
And title is Maybe Tomorrow It Will Be Like This.
Okay.
शायद कल ऐसा ही हो.
हाँ, कल ऐसा हो.
I said we should make some more leaves. I said we should make some more leaves. We should make some more flowers. I said we should paint some mountains and rivers too. This is not the first time when we have said so. But between saying and being, market comes every time. Every time some price comes. But if so tomorrow, when sunrise, we walk ourselves to the green leaves, walk ourselves to the flowers and invite them near our homes, in our hearts. Maybe tomorrow it will be like this.
अगर हो सकता है तो इसका हिंदी जो ओरिजिनल है वो भी अगर है तो पढ़ लीजिए.
है. बिल्कुल.
जरूर पेश कीजिए.
शायद कल ऐसा ही हो. मैंने कहा हमें कुछ और पत्तियां बनानी चाहिए. हमें कुछ और फूल बनाने चाहिए. मैंने कहा हमें कुछ पहाड़ और नदियों को भी रंगना चाहिए. यह कोई पहली बार नहीं है जब हमने ऐसा कहा है, लेकिन कहने और होने के बीच हर बार आ जाता है बाजार, हर बार आ जाती है कुछ कीमतें. लेकिन अगर ऐसा हो कल जब सूर्योदय हो, हम खुद चलकर पहुंचे हरी पत्तियों के पास, फूलों के करीब, और उन्हें आमंत्रित करें अपने अपने घरों के पास. शायद कल ऐसा ही हो.
Thank you.
बहुत धन्यवाद जी. Sir, I would request the chair to present one more in both.
Sir, thank you.
With the follow
sir. So, yeah, a small poem is the title is Poem on the Hills. The mountain The mountain has a lot of snow. The snow melts and becomes rivers. Thus the hill has rivers too. But those ungrateful rivers run far, far away through dark, narrow dells, and the hill contorts every single day for want of water. The hill has also a sea as such. The hill has also a sea as such, a sea not of water, but of tears. The thirstier the hill becomes, the wider expands the sea of tears. Hunger can no doubt be combated, but life without water is impossible. How good it would be if the thirst could be quenched even with tears. Thank you.
So nice, and by highlighting the need of our.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. And if I'm not wrong, may I request Bina Thing from Nepal to present one more, if he's interested.
Sorry, I haven't today. Sorry.
No, you can read in Nepali, Binaji, if you want.
You can read in Nepali without English translation.
Yeah.
Dai.
Yeah.
Yes.
एउटा पढ्छु है त.
Yes, you.
In Nepali. चुल्ठोमा सिउरिएर आगोको ठेगाना, निकै अप्ठ्यारो बाटो हुँदै म हिँडेकी छु आफैलाई खोज्न. थाहा छैन कति नजिक छ, कति टाढा छ त्यो आगोको देश. आमाको गुन्योको न्यानो छोडेर दौडिरहेकी मलाई यति थाहा छ, गाउँमा आमाहरू पहेँलो आकाश हेरेर समय निल्छन्, भोकको आगोमा सखरखण्ड पोल्छन्, अनुहारको घाम पछ्यौराले ढाक्छन्, एक हातले फरिया पक्रन्छन्, अर्कोले पृथ्वी घुमाउँछन्. छोरीहरू बाबुको कमिज पक्रेर जिद्दी गर्छन् एउटा रोटीको लागि र सिँगै जीवन सम्झौताको सिरोटो ओढेर काँपिरहन्छन्. आइमै हुनु भनेको पँधेरोमा जम्नु मात्रै होइन, सधैँ त्याग्नु मात्रै होइन, घाँसको डोकामा अल्झिनु मात्रै होइन, दुःखका भारीहरूमा बल्झिनु मात्रै होइन, भान्सामा पाक्नु मात्रै होइन, देवी देवता भाग्नु मात्रै होइन, चुरासँगै बज्नु मात्रै होइन, दुखेर शीतसँगै खस्नु मात्रै होइन, सम्बन्धको डुङ्गा खियाउनु मात्रै होइन, धरती हुनु मात्रै होइन. आमाले भनेकी छन्, आइमै हुनु भनेको त साहसको घोडामा काठी ठोक्नु पनि हो, पिठुमा युग बोक्नु पनि हो, निर्भयको रथ हाँक्नु पनि हो, बन्धनको तगारो नाग्नु पनि हो, आक्रोशको सीमारेखा कोर्नु पनि हो, विचारको आगो चोर्नु पनि हो, विभेदको पर्खाल गर्नु पनि हो. चुल्ठोमा सिउरिएर आगोको ठेगाना, निकै अप्ठ्यारो बाटो हुँदै म हिँडेकी छु आफैलाई खोज्न. थ्याङ्क यू.
So thank you so much, Bina Thengji, for obliging my request. So suddenly, if I cause you trouble, please kindly excuse me. And I sincerely thank the chair of today's first session, poetry session, Bhishma Upreti ji, for devoting your time and conducting the proceedings of the first session. And I sincerely thank on behalf of Dr. K. Srinivas Rao ji, Secretary, Sahitya Academy, and President Foswal, Ma'am Ajit Kaur ji. I sincerely thank all the poets, right from Amrendra Khathwa from India, Sanjyoti Borwa from Bangladesh, Namgai Thaljan from Bhutan, Mihir Chitre from India, Bina Thing from Nepal, Dev Prakash Chaudhary ji from India, and the chair of this today's session, Bhishma Upreti from Nepal, for devoting your time for us. And we shall meet in some other session of this 3-day conference of devoted for environment and literature. With this, this session would come to an end. Thank you so much. Namaskar.
Thank you so much. Namaskar.